Do you know something that is uncomfortable? Pull-ups. I swear to God, we had to do like 1,000 of them today. My arms still feel like they're on fire. Not to mention the fact that they're going to be sore tomorrow. Oh well, at least I've got my protein shakes to help repair muscle. Carl has been very adamant about us having them. I got some pumpkin spice with mine to get in the fall spirit. As it turns out, having your arms and legs chained to a table isn't exactly comfortable either. Neither is having a human skin covered anthropomorphic former unicorn prince get ready to perform twisted experiments on you. Mostly the latter one, especially when said person's sanity has dwindled from years of torture. As my luck would have it, he was about to take all of his frustrations out on me. I tried escaping by pushing some shit over to no avail. It only succeeded in pissing him off. He knocked me out, and I woke up later chained to some kind of operating table. Cuffs dug into my ankles and wrists. I tilted my head to see where he was. He was at the far end of the table with his back to me. Sensing I was awake, he began speaking. It's been a long while since I've had company. Hopefully, you'll last a little bit longer than those before you. The fact I wasn't the first person in his lab didn't shock me. I figured some slaves would have attempted using the catacombs as a means of escape, although I imagine they wouldn't have lasted very long on their own. Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. What surprised me and scared me was finding out what his intent was. "What are you planning on doing to me?" I demanded. For years, I've been trying to find a way to rid myself of this condition, but all of my attempts have failed. What makes you think this time will turn out any different? Because I can feel it. Last time, my method was off ever so slightly. This time, however, I know it'll work. You and I are going to switch places. My oh shit meter went up to 12 when I realized what he meant. You can't do that. I thought you considered humans lesser beings. I do, but anything is better than how I am now. Everything hurts all the time. Now I finally have a chance to free myself of this pain. I just need to make a few preparations. While he gathered tools, I pleaded to be let go. Your plan will never work. Even if you take my body, you'll be killed once you escape. Who said anything about escaping? Then what are you going to do? That isn't something you'll need to worry about. Despite what you may think, I am capable of mercy. I took that to mean he intended on killing me after the transfer. How exactly he was going to do all of this, I wasn't sure. However, I was about to find out. What he gathered were some glowing metal tubes that were spiked at the end. In addition, he wheeled in a large metal tank that pulsed, akin to a beating heart. The center of it contained a window, which I could see a green globby liquid moving inside. The way it did makes me think it might be alive somehow. Whatever it was, judging by those tubes, it was about to go inside of me. You have no idea how long it took to make this, to get it exactly right. All the test will finally be worth it. I began screaming out a stream of expletives at him, then he gagged my mouth. Once the transfer is complete, I'll be far stronger than your kind normally is. I might visit your world one day and have a little fun. My legal troubles were bad enough already. The last thing that would help them was this psychotic monster wreaking havoc while impersonating me. It's amazing how fast the mind can work during life or death situations. I thought of one thing that might save me. However, it required that he be able to understand me. I managed to work the gag out of my mouth as he was about to stick the tubes in me. You had a foal, right? He paused. What about her? What did she look like? Why are you asking this? If it's to stall, I assure you that won't change your fate. At least do me the favor. Fortunately for me, he granted my request. Luckily, his answer was exactly what I needed. We've met her. She's leading the invaders. That's a bluff. Mention her again, and I'll instead draw your death out for as long as possible. It isn't. Just give me a chance. Do you really want to risk giving up a chance to be reunited with her? He got closer to me, looking into my eyes, trying to determine if I could be trusted. I hadn't got a good look at them until then, and man, they were the freakiest part of it. For one, they almost seemed to be a blend of horse and human eyes. It was as though the eyes of the latters had taken on the size of the former's. The way they rolled around on his head as he studied me was super unnerving. Eventually, though, he decided to hear me out. If what you're saying is true, I can't face her looking like this. So if I help you with this, there won't be any swapping bodies or torturing me or anything like that? I give you my word. However, if you fail me, I already know. Trust me. I've been hearing that a lot lately. Anyway, I could get you one of the guards' bodies. I don't like the thought of becoming one of them. Well, I can't afford to be picky. He led me back to the stairs. Luring a guard was easy enough. I got him to chase me downstairs, and the former prince knocked him out. Then he switched bodies with him. The guard's reaction to finding out what he'd become was to scream uncontrollably. He wanted to leave him there alone. I don't consider myself a humanitarian, but leaving him in that state would have been a pretty messed up thing to do. Therefore, I ended his misery by slitting his throat. The smell of his blood was so rancid, I began seeing double. Once we had gotten far enough away, I came back to my senses. How are you going to explain things to her? There are several methods I know of that can extract the entire truth from someone. If she doesn't believe me, I'll just offer to volunteer for one. Now, where can I find her? I think she was part of the group that was supposed to poison the royals. I know where that part of the castle is located. How do you know if you've been in the catacombs for so long? Before they changed me, I helped them by giving them all the details of my parents' army and their castle. So that's the way they were able to kidnap the princess, I thought. The royals' wing of the tower was surprisingly easy to get to because there were no guards on duty. Something had slaughtered them. Their blood and flesh coated the floor and walls. We found the severed heads of several Pegasus, hybrids, and humans. What the hell could have done this to them? Maybe it was from battle? The carnage here was way too intense to have been caused by that. Something way stronger did this. The question I hope to never find the answer to is what? This is the part where I said screw you to every god and goddess I could think of and to the universe in general. Something wet and heavy was heading toward us. Its steps sounded squishy, and the floor quaked with every step it took. What slithered into the room was almost as bad as what I'd seen down in the tunnels. It was a creature infused with the body parts of Pegasus, hybrids, and humans alike. They were a part of some kind of large pink blobby thing. It took notice of it and rose from the ground. Its true height was enough to reach the ceiling far above us. The size of it was frightening enough, but what disturbed me more is the familiar voice I heard come from it. Pete, Help! And that's all I can stand to type for now. Sorry, everyone, but my arms need their rest. So this is Pete, signing off.